Today we're going to talk about two different types of poems that you're going to be learning about, and then also reading this week in reading, writing in writing, and being able to identify them in your reading this week. So the two types of poems that we're going to start with are lyric, and the other one is free verse. So lyric is the first type of poem that we're going to talk about. A lyric poem is a poem that expresses thoughts or feelings. A lyric poem also has what is called meter. Meter is a pattern of sound, so it's a detailed pattern of sound. A lyric poem also has stanzas. I like to think of stanzas as kind of the paragraphs of poems, but they're also usually stanzas are considered groups of lines. And that is a word that you'll also need to know for the week, stanzas. Lyric poem, they can rhyme, but they don't have to rhyme. So they can rhyme, but they don't have to. Lyric poems also have alliteration. Alliteration, if you watch the video, is the repetition of a sound at the beginning of a word. Okay, so again, a lyric poem, it can express your thoughts or feelings. It has meter, which is a pattern of sound. It does have stanzas, also referred to as a group of lines. It can rhyme. It usually has alliteration, which is a repetition of sound at the beginning of a word. Okay, the other type of poem that we're going to need to know for this week is called a free verse poem. Free verse. You're going to notice that a free verse, just like a lyrical one, expresses thoughts and feelings. So they're both going to express thoughts and feelings. Now, after this is kind of where a free verse and a lyric poem are different. A free verse has no meter, meaning it has no pattern of sound. A free verse has no line length. It may have stanzas. That means it doesn't have to have stanzas. It might just have one stanza, whereas the lyric poem usually has multiple stanzas. And this one may include alliteration, but again, it doesn't have to have it like the lyric poem does. So these are the difference between the two types of poems that you're going to need to know for this week. We have lyric, which expresses the thought or feeling. This one has more of that meter or repetition of sound. It has stanzas or groups of lines. It can rhyme, and it usually has alliteration. The free verse, on the other hand, even though it expresses thoughts or feelings like the lyric poem, it has no meter, no line length. It can have stanzas and it can have alliteration, but it doesn't have to have those last two things. So you're going to need to know the difference between a lyric and a free verse, and I hope this helps you in your work this week. Good luck.